Teofimo Lopez Sr. says, my mistake was leaving Junior at 135 for too long. No need for a rematch. Wow. Let's talk.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Wow. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's get to it. Boxing Scene. Link will be in the description. Written by my personal favorite boxing media analyst, Jake Donovan. You want to call him old media, you can. I respect this guy. The only adjustment that Teofimo Lopez Jr. is expected to make is adding 5 pounds to his frame. So stop right there. I just spoke about Teofimo Lopez wanting to go up to fight Josh Taylor, not even at the full 140. It was a catch weight at 137, 138. There's an article on it on Boxing Scene. I did a video about it. Look it up for yourself. So now he's talking about 5 pounds. Is it 5 pounds or 4 pounds or 3 pounds? What is it? Already. These guys are double talking. I'm talking about the Lopez's. Jake is just reporting it how it was explained to him. Adding 5 pounds to his frame. That ain't take long, the contradictions. That was the common takeaway among the team following Lopez's first career defeat, a stunning split decision in favor of George Kambosos Jr. in their thrilling lineal lightweight championship Saturday evening at Madison Square Garden's Hulu Theater in New York City. In the Hulu Theater right next door to the big Madison Square Garden. They were in the, next door in the smaller arena. But Teo's this star though, right? Lopez was vocal in the months-long building up to the fight about it being his last at lightweight. So this was supposed to be his last fight at lightweight. The sentiment his team fully shares, to the point of not even thinking about staying at the weight long enough to attempt to avenge the loss. So they didn't even want no more Kambosos work. There was no rematch clause. More on that in a second. I don't need no rematch, man. My mistake was leaving my son at 135 for so long. This is a quote. I don't need no rematch, as if Teo Sr. is the one in the ring. I don't need no rematch. I can't stop reading that. I don't need no rematch, man. My mistake was leaving my son at 135 for so long. Teofimo Lopez Sr., Lopez's father and head trainer, told Seconds Out Radio Raheem Davies after Saturday's DAZN DAZN streamed main event. Radio Raheem. This game, you got to knock everybody out. If you don't knock everyone out, this is what happens. It was a complete robbery. In my comment section, I need you to let me know, honestly, if you thought Teofimo won that fight and got robbed, let me know in the comment section. And I need to know who you are so I can effing avoid you. I don't need no rematch. You're not in the ring. Your son is. Sounds like a guy. Doesn't he sound like one of these women that live through their daughters? They put their 5-year-olds in these beauty pageant contests and all this other stuff, and they're living through their children. How about your daughter who just wants to play with Barbie dolls and have a normal childhood? And you're living through her because you missed your shot. You feel you missed your shot. Now, I don't know if this is what's going on with Teo Sr. It sounds like he said, I don't need no rematch, man. Maybe Teo Jr. says, yo, Dad, I want to run that back. I could beat that guy. I don't know. Said you got to knock everybody out. We dictated the fight from the beginning aggressively. Everyone in the world knows that, and they know what happened. Everyone is saying who he won the fight 9-3, 10-2. The whole arena saw it, and it was just disgusting. I can't believe what they did to us, but you know what? They just saved us. Oh my God. I can't believe what I'm reading. Both fighters were knocked down over the course of the fight of the year level war. Brooklyn's Lopez was dropped by an overhand right late in round 1, providing Kambosos with a massive start and preserving that lead all the way through 9 rounds. Anyone with eyes saw that. There was no part of that fight outside of the round that Teo scored the knockdown later in the fight. I believe that was round 10, I believe. There was no part of that fight that I saw him winning. Okay, yeah, it says right here, Lopez he rallied to drop IBF mandatory challenger with a pair of right hands midway through round 10, but was unable to close the show. Dropped Kambosos. He had more than enough time to close the show. He just didn't do it. He didn't do it. I'm going to skip through this. He said, we're going to go up to 140. We're going to get a fight in February and then fight Josh Taylor in the springtime, insisted Elder Lopez. This doesn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's the article. The link will be in the description. Here's my opinion. What do the Brits always say? Huh? Tia, really think your son won that fight? You're delusional. You're delusional, man. What? You was at the fight. You worked the corner. Yeah, you're right. Everyone did see it. Your son lost. And instead of taking accountability, there was no excuse. The Lomachenko fight was a long time ago now. Lomachenko done had surgery, got back, stopped Nakatani, something that your son couldn't even do. And he's back in the mix. Your son had all this time, and what did he do? What was we met with Teofimo? Yeah, you got that Triller money, $6 million, right? $6 million. I applauded you for that. Now you got to fight. I think about 5 times this fight was postponed, and while you was running your mouth, you showing up to Canelo fights with all your belts, but telling Devin Haney, yo, you were surprised he ain't show up with the belts with him right now when he ran up on you in public. You're surprised Devin ain't have his WBC, his real WBC strap that was given to him by Vasyl Lomachenko, because Lomachenko would rather fight you because he thought you was easier work than fight Devin Haney. That's what really grounds your gears. You'd rather tell Devin that, and in the same breath, you show up to the Canelo fight, and what a D-blower you are, because it doesn't matter. It was an undisputed match. If Canelo lost, you'd have been taking that picture next to Caleb Plant. But what's messed up is your father violated Canelo by way of his words, and you were sitting right there next to him when he did that. He called Canelo a bum. Now, 3 years later, he's undisputed, and he made you get up on that stage with all your hardware. Why are you bringing all of your belts to Canelo's event? Did you reach? I think so. This is ridiculous. And your first defense let's just say in your world that you're undisputed, in your first defense, you get in there and lay an egg against George Kambosos. Matter of fact, you ain't lay an egg. That's who you are, man. When I say a fighter lays an egg, that means they don't perform like they normally perform. But that was you. Kambosos just proved to be a better fighter than you. That wasn't a fluke. And now y'all blaming weight. You're going to blame weight now? And don't look now. I just saw on Instagram, you told Radio Raheem, right, that you plan on fighting 2 more pay-per-views with Top Rank? Against who? All right, so let me get this straight. You lost to Kambosos, but you don't even want that back. You don't want that win back. Never mind your belts back. You don't want the win back. You don't want to get it back. What's that about? Oh, you're too heavy? Oh, that's what the article says. Your father says, I've been around, because he's talking like he's in the ring. I've been around 135 too long. If y'all didn't hear my live stream earlier today, I have it on good authority that Teo Sr. told Kevin Kelly that the plan the whole time was to go up to 140 and fight Josh Taylor. And this was way before the Kambosos fight. So guess what? He never had any intentions of fighting Devin Haney. He never did. Because if he did, and if it was easy work, he'd have did it already. He ducked Devin Haney. And salute the Trill Bill. All you did, Lopez family, was mess up the money. That's all you did. You messed up the money. Do you think Josh Taylor is going to entertain you next year? Fighting you does what for him? Not when he's undisputed at 140, the full 140. Because remember, there's an article, and I reported on it. You wanted to fight Josh Taylor at like 137, 138. You even want to fight him at the full 140. And you wanted to put your belt on the line and his belt's on the line. And he's like, I'm not interested in this guy. For what? That's a step backwards. Not when he's looking at 147 and he sees Errol and he sees Bud and he sees dollar signs. And he sees a chance at cementing a serious legacy. He could do more at 147. Why, oh why, would he go back and fight you at 140 for what? You seriously now, especially with this loss and that cut and how you look and how you're behaving, you've lost all credibility. All that talking for what? But Bob Arum's going to put you on pay-per-view 2 more times? I'd like to know who is he going to put you in the ring. If it's not against Kambosos in the rematch, forget it. And guess what? There's no rematch clause. So fine, Kambosos like, you don't want to run it back? Fine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and beat Devin Haney. And if I can get that done, I'm undisputed for real. How crazy would that be? If George Kambosos becomes undisputed for real? Tio, if you fought Devin and lost, you would get credit for even fighting Devin because everybody's ducking Devin. Now you're just on the list. You'd have been able to say, yo, look, Lomachenko gave him the belt rather than fight him. I'm going to fight him. Even if you fought him and lost, you'd have got credit for it. Kambosos wasn't on anybody's radar. Thank you. Now everyone knows who he is because of you. You talked a good one, but you ain't won it. You talked a good one, but you ain't win it either. Now what? Now what? What's next for Tio? Lomachenko. He just manhandled Nakatani. He has some work coming up later. I trust he'll get through that. You need to be fighting. And see, that's something Bob Arum will pick up. A rematch. You and Lomachenko right here in MSG. And this time, because Lomachenko is more known than you are and has more fans than you do, maybe y'all could put it in the big room. Because Lomachenko, he did fill up the Hulu Theater when he fought Rigondeaux. The Ukrainians came out to support him, rightfully so. Can you, because you know it's all about dance partners, can you and Lomachenko fill up the big garden? Can you do it? Because you know what, Tio, I believe you were on pay-per-view. You fought on the undercard of who? Bud Crawford versus Amir Khan. You fought on that card, if I'm not mistaken. You need a dance partner. Your father says 2 pay-per-views in the spring. Well, in 2022, you'll be back in the spring, the cut or heel, whatever. So granted, if Lomachenko takes care of business, how about fighting Lomachenko in the rematch? In the big room in the Garden, maybe in the Barclays, since you're from Brooklyn. I would go to that. I would definitely go to that because I want to see what happens. But I don't think you win, man. I think you're fragile mentally. And I think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because you're running off at the mouth. Did you close your Instagram? Did you close your Instagram? That's what people are saying. They were telling me on Instagram right now. I said, huh? I didn't check yet. Did you close your Instagram, man? Say it ain't so. I hope you didn't. And if you did, I hope you opened it back up. And then your father's running around. Y'all, this is sour grapes. I thought y'all wasn't into excuses. Huh? Deontay was making excuses, right? Y'all didn't want to hear it, so fine. We know what we know, but that's fine. Remain consistent. What I saw was Kambosos whoop your ass. The gloves was on properly, and you got dropped in the first round. And you got beat up. Ten rounds you said you won? 9 rounds you said you won? Y'all need to stop. Y'all really need to stop.
But one of these kids is doing his own thing. Now it's time to play our game. It's time to play our game.
All of this criticism now, you deserve it. Just like if you won and backed up your talk, you would deserve the praise. So I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know if your house life is okay. I don't know what's going on. But you need to rebound fast. And at this level, there's no light work. There's no tune-up fights. Lomachenko is your next opponent, in my opinion. What you gonna do? Salute to George Kambosos. And until you get right, Mr. Lopez, this is the fake over. Change our mind.